This is Unit 2, Day 4, Age Problems, Consecutive Number Problems, and Coin Word Problems. The first thing that we're going to do is go over a couple age problems. Age problems typically involve the ages of two people and also a variable and then a number of years. So I'm looking at number 3 on the notes. Mary's age in years is represented by Y. Now, as soon as they tell us something like that, it's really important that we write it down. Okay, so I'm just going to write Mary equals Y. Okay, if Tom is 5 years older than Mary, all right, so Tom is 5 years older than Mary. So Mary is Y years old, and if he's 5 years older, we're adding 5. Represent his age in 10 years. So, right now, he's Y plus 5. And then we have to think about 10 years from now. So we add 10. Okay. Now let's try one from the homework. Josie is 11 years older than Macy. What is an equation that relates the age of Josie, J, and the age of Macy, M? Okay, so they told us that J equals Josie's age, and M equals Macy's age. Okay, if Josie is 11 years older than Macy, then we have to take Josie's age, and in order to get to Macy's age, are we subtracting or are we adding? We're subtracting 11 years, right? Because she's 11 years older than Macy. So that equals Macy's age. So there's your answer. J minus 11 equals M. Okay, let's do a consecutive number problem. Now, consecutive numbers, when we talk about consecutive numbers, we're talking about numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, these are consecutive numbers. So let's pretend that this is Y. So if Y equals 1, that's the first consecutive integer. Okay, now how do I get from 1 to 2? Well, I add 1. So Y, which is 1, plus 1 equals my second consecutive integer. Okay, now I always have to go back to in terms of Y. So I'm not going to say Y plus 1 equals the third. I'm going to say Y plus 2. Because in this case, Y is 1, Y, 1 plus 2 equals 3, right? And that's what we just went to. So third, and so on. Okay? So with that in mind, let's do a homework problem. And the homework problem says 3, it's number 8, 3 consecutive integers have a sum of -6. Okay, so sum, that's important. And -6 is important. The sum is -6, so we have to consider those keywords sum and then the number -6. Write an equation that would help you find the numbers. We don't need to solve, we just need to write the equation. So taking what I learned over here, I'm going to say that I'm going to do my let statements. Y equals the first consecutive integer. And now it told me I needed how many? I needed 3. Okay, Y plus 1 equals the second consecutive integer. And then Y plus 2 equals the third consecutive integer. Okay, so sum tells me to do what? It tells me to add. So I need to add all of these things together. So y plus, and you could put them in parentheses if that makes you feel more comfortable with what you're doing, that's fine, or you don't have to. Y plus 1 plus y plus 2 equals, oh, they told me right here, -6. Now you can go ahead and, okay, I have 1, y2, y3, y plus 3 equals -6 if you want, but you don't have to do that. Okay, moving on. Okay, coin word problems. So coin word problems, the thing that you need to remember is that you always need to put the value of the coin along with the number of coins. So if you're talking about nickels, you need to make sure that you put 0.05 because they're worth 5 cents. And then you have to multiply that by the number of nickels, okay? Like 4. This would give you 20 cents, right? So it's the same way when we're using variables. So let's say we don't know how many nickels there are. Then we would just use n or x, right? So this is going to give you a total if you were to substitute a number in for n. We can do this too when we talk about adding an amount or multiplying the variable by an amount. So if we have write an expression to represent the value of n plus 3/4. Well, we have to do the n plus 3. That's really important, right? And then we can't forget to put how much the quarter's worth. You don't want to add it. You always have to multiply it. Okay, write an expression to represent the value of 4n dimes. 4n and then dimes, 0.10. Okay, so let's try a coin problem from the homework. Mary has 3 times as many dimes as nickels. In all, she has $1.40. Write let statements to describe the number of dimes and nickels she has in terms of x. Okay, so important things. We have to figure out which one is the most simple thing that we're working with. Is it dimes or is it nickels? Well, Mary has 3 times as many dimes as nickels. Okay, so the simple thing is the nickels. So we're going to let x equal the number of nickels. Awesome. Okay, so the number of nickels that she has is going to be 0.05 times x. And she has 3 times as many dimes. So 3x times 0.10 because that's how much a dime is worth. All right, so we have our expression. Now we can make it into an equation just by doing equals $1.40 because they told us that in the beginning statement. Now we don't need to go ahead and find. I'm not gonna solve that one. You can solve that one. But that's how you do coin problems.